When the Virek Dominion first discovered Earth, they didn't see a threat. They saw a primitive species obsessed with entertainment, divided by borders, and years behind in spaceflight. To them, humanity was just another footnote in the galactic's catalog, so they didn't bother with diplomacy or warnings. They sent a fleet. Fast, brutal, efficient. Their mission? Subjugation in under 72 hours. But what the Virek failed to realize was that humans have a long history of being underestimated, and an even longer one of punching far above their weight. Within hours, hidden orbital defenses powered up. Stealth ships emerged from the dark side of the moon, and Earth's deadliest fleet, one no alien had even known existed, began to move. The galaxy expected a massacre. What they got was a message. One written in precision strikes, shattered, cruisers, and the cold silence of a defeated armada. 1. Earth responds. The Virek fleet entered the Sol system on May 19, 2349. The intrusion was subtle at first, anomalous gravitational readings near the Oort cloud, strange distortions picked up by Neptune's surveillance drones. But the data was clear. They weren't natural. Humanity had long abandoned the idea that it was alone. Ever since the Mars Terraforming Initiative in 2217, Earth's governments had funded covert defense initiatives under the banner of the United Nations Planetary Defense Accord, UNPDA. Hundreds of billions of credits had gone into orbital weapons, black-site AI warfare labs, and fleets that didn't officially exist. When the first Virek cruiser crossed Jupiter's orbit, alarms triggered across Earth, Luna, Mars, and Ceres simultaneously. The reaction was not panic, but cold, swift execution of protocol. Within 3 minutes, Admiral Suri Tanaka, Supreme Commander of the Black Horizon Fleet, was online with every defense coordinator from Mercury to the Kuiper Belt. Phase Red has begun. Authorize Operation Iron Echo. Assume asymmetric warfare. Engage at will. The battle for orbit Virek ships were massive, elegant, and terrifying. Dagger-shaped cruisers flanked 2 dreadnoughts bristling with energy weapons. They deployed in Earth orbit with arrogant precision. Their first act? Targeting Tokyo with a kinetic strike rod meant to obliterate a 20-kilometer radius. They never got the chance. 3 railgun rounds from the stealth destroyer VSS Revenant tore through the lead cruiser's flank before it could charge weapons. Its shielding array, tuned to energy resistance, folded under raw kinetic force. The ship exploded in silent brilliance. The Virek were stunned. These primitive humans had railguns capable of breaching a cruiser's hull. Their calculations hadn't prepared for that. Moments later, a second wave hit, a coordinated cyber attack launched from Earth's moon-based AI cluster. Virek communications scrambled. Internal command structures collapsed. Auto-targeting went dark. The fleet was blind, and humanity had just started. The Black Horizon, fleet unknown to the galaxy, humanity's true strength lay not in numbers, but in secrecy and innovation. The Black Horizon fleet had been assembled over 3 decades in the asteroid shadows between Saturn and Uranus. Equipped with gravitic pulse cannons, neutron torpedoes, and stealth-masking hulls, it was the most advanced space force Earth had ever built. Commanded by Admiral Tanaka, the fleet moved in from 3 vectors. From beyond Neptune came the VSS, Wraith and its drone armada. From Mars, the orbital mass driver Helios rotated into firing position, and from Earth itself, hidden in low orbit, defense satellites powered up kinetic kill arrays. Within 10 minutes, the Virek's formation was shattered. Lessons in human warfare. The Virek were tactically brilliant, but rigid. Their battle plans relied on dominance, fear, and overwhelming firepower. Humanity fought differently. We relied on adaptability, disruption, and calculated unpredictability. Human. Pilots used guerrilla space tactics, firing from debris fields, slingshotting around gravity wells, and using reflected solar flares to blind sensors. AI-guided torpedoes penetrated ship hulls at impossible angles, taking advantage of every design flaw. One Virek ship tried to retreat. It never made it past the asteroid belt. Humans don't follow rules, a captured Virek tactician later said, trembling. They invent new ones in the middle of battle. A new power rises. By day 2, the battle was over. Earth had lost 2 destroyers and suffered 73 casualties. A tragic cost, but a fraction of what the Virac had anticipated. The Virac Dominion lost 12 cruisers, both dreadnoughts, and 94% of their personnel. Their last remaining vessel, Ulor Van, tried to limp to the edge of the system. Admiral Tanaka opened a final channel. "This is Earth. Your fleet is defeated. Do not return. We will not be surprised again." She gave the order. A Helios orbital lance fired from Mars. The Ulor Van vanished. Galactic aftermath. The galaxy took notice. The Sol Stand, as historians later called it, spread across alien networks within weeks. First as rumor, then as data. The footage of Virac ships shattering under kinetic strikes. The logs of Virac commanders screaming as viruses hijacked their comms. The Galactic Council, long dismissive of Earth, revised its classification. Species, Homo sapiens, Tyrannus tier. 5. Emerging Strategic Power Advisory, non-interference mandated. Suddenly Earth received envoys, not threats. Treaties, not ultimatums. The Yarlan Pact opened trade. The Krell Accord invited human diplomats. Even the Dominion fell silent, their fleets retreating to their core worlds. Epilogue. Never again. Humanity had once feared the galaxy. Now, it prepared. To join it on its own terms, Admiral Tanaka addressed the UN Assembly. "We will not seek war, but let this be known across the stars. Earth does not kneel, not because we are the strongest or the oldest, but because we learn. We adapt. And when united, humanity is a force the galaxy must reckon with." The fleet returned to deep orbit. The skies remained silent, but Earth was never underestimated again. Chapter 7. Ripples across the stars. The Virac's defeat sent shockwaves through the galactic balance of power. Lesser civilizations began to whisper of hope. If the humans could resist and win, then maybe others could too. Rebel movements in the Karen Belt intensified. The tyrants of the Gaxor clans hesitated in their conquests. For the first time in decades, the galaxy saw a limit to imperial power. But Earth remained cautious. The UN formed a new council, the Interstellar Peace and Defense Directive, IPDD. Their aim wasn't expansion, it was stability. "We won't become what we just defeated," said Admiral Tanaka in her address, yet whispers in the council grew louder. Some believed humanity should press the advantage. Some wanted to liberate the Dominion's enslaved worlds. Others feared retribution. The human paradox. What confused the rest of the galaxy wasn't Earth's military power. It was our restraint. We didn't claim Virac territory. We didn't parade captured warships through space. Instead, we mourned our dead. We built memorials. And we studied the enemy, not for revenge, but for understanding. One Virac linguist captured and treated with respect said, "Your species is terrifying not because you destroy, but because you choose when not to." In dark corners of the galaxy, warlords took that as a warning. Diplomats took it as an invitation. Shadows of the future back on Earth, life slowly returned to normal. Or as normal as it could be, knowing the universe was now watching. The UNPDA ramped up recruitment. Shipyards expanded on Luna and Titan. Mars approved a civilian fleet program. Humanity wasn't planning a war, but it was making sure it was ready for anything. Rumors emerged of Sleeper, agents in other systems, of hidden fleets not yet revealed, of weapons still in prototype. Earth had learned that peace was earned and constantly defended. Yet amid all this, a single message was encoded into Sol's deep beacon relay. To any who would come in conquest, remember the Virac. Then remember, we were merciful. Never again, humanity had once feared the galaxy. Now it prepared to join it on its own terms. Admiral Tanaka addressed the UN Assembly. "We will not seek war, but let this be known across the stars. Earth does not kneel, not because we are the strongest or the oldest, but because we learn, we adapt, and when united, humanity is a force the galaxy must reckon with." The fleet returned to deep orbit. The skies remained silent, but Earth was never underestimated again. The silence that followed the void between stars, silence is rarely comforting. But after the Sol stand, it became sacred. Merchant convoys now, cross systems guarded by silent escorts bearing the human flag. Pirate lords whispered legends of invisible Earth ships that appeared without warning and left nothing behind. Peace treaties began referencing Sol protocols, clauses that mirrored Earth's ethics of engagement. Humanity had not imposed its will, but its will was now a galactic standard. Beneath the ice of Europa, while the galaxy shifted, Earth scientists dug deeper. Beneath Europa's ice crust, an ancient alien ruin was discovered, older than the Virek, older than anything in Council records. It contained warnings, not about the Dominion, but about something older, darker, still slumbering in the galactic rim. The message was translated by Earth's best xenolinguists. If they awaken, flee. If you cannot flee, find the ones who adapt. Find the humans. The Council debated secrecy. Earth prepared contingency plans. Into the unknown, humanity launched the Horizon Initiative, a mission beyond the edge of mapped space. Not in conquest, but in preparation. 6 exploration fleets departed. They carried diplomats, scientists, soldiers, and questions. Were